Oh, no, bear with me. Hope you're all okay out there. Hope you're all okay. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday. I hope I'm not too late for you. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday are my request evenings. If you've got a request, drop them in the comments, or you can join my Patreon, patreon.com/deshrose5472. Or come and join us in the lives. Like I say, Tuesdays are my request evening. Thursdays are stories I like to bring that you might not have heard of. And my format is I like to have a little chat at the beginning with the guys in the live. If you want to fast forward, I won't take offence. Once I start the story, I don't chop and change. I stay on the story, and then I might have a chat with the guys in the live at the end. So I'm just going to go and see if anyone's joining us this evening, then I'll start the story. Hey sis, how you doing? Hey Phil, how's it going? How are you? Missed you last night, Phil. Saw you were on Sharon's for Ray's story. Well done. Representing the Jess Rose crew. Thank you. I missed it. I got there late, but I did watch it today. So, it's just so bad, isn't it? But hope you're okay, though, everyone. We're looking forward to the weekend. What are we up to? I'm very hyped. I'm very hyped, as you can see. I'm all very hyper. I'm sorry I'm late as well. Hi, Hayley. How are we doing? I'm sorry I'm late. There was a whole shebang in the house, but we're all good. We're all here. I have a very slicked hairdo today. So, but hope you're all okay. What we all doing the weekend anyway? Are we doing anything fun? I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's happening. Are we doing anything fun the weekend, guys? I don't think... Oh, I'm putting up Christmas decks. It's Christmas deck shebang. Did I say shebang? Is that what I said? That's how hyped up I am. I didn't even realise I'd said it. Yes, shebang. That's what's going on. The whole shebang. So I don't know where that word's come from. That's a new word in my vocabulary. But I'm just going to move that. Just hoping it's not making too much noise on the mic. I don't even know where that came from. It's a new word. It's a new word for you. Shebang. Yes. But yeah, I don't know why I said that. But yes, I'm putting the Christmas decks up. Christmas decks are going up this weekend. Woo-hoo-hoo. Are you working Saturday, Phil? Oh, so no Christmas decks. Oh, I'm going to get them up. I have to. Lights upon lights upon lights. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing this weekend. Do you know, remember the other night I says the light shone off my glasses and I thought it was okay. But when I watched it back, it was actually quite bad. So I'm going to try. We'll have all the shebangs. We'll have all of them. I'm just going to try it. Well, that's not helping, is it? I don't know how to... How about that? Is that a bit better? Still just at the side now. Is that any good? I can't. It's making me look like I've got a different colour eyes, though. That's not good. I'm not too sure. Oh, well, that's just marvellous, isn't it? Oh, God. And now we have no light. Now we have no light at all. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I have to have light. See, if I turn it the other way, that's too dark. No, I know, but it's bothering me. It bothers me when I watch it back. It puts me off. It's really off-putting. And I just can't believe that if you're watching it back, it's not going to put you off. Oh, do you know, that'll have to do. I don't... Shall I move over this way? No, it's still going to be there. It's just going to have to do. I'm going to put it back. I'm knocking you all about now. I'm knocking you all about now. This is great, isn't it? That's marvellous. I don't know what maybe if I do this and just turn my head to the side, maybe. Just stay like this for the whole story. Oh dear. I had Jess. Oh, did you do anything nice yesterday, Phil? Did you do anything nice with your day off? Or was you just relaxing? Was you having a relax? I love a relaxing day. I love a day if there's nothing to do. I'm all for them days. I love them days. Tried to do my eyebrows as well tonight. I don't know what's happened. Luckily they're hidden by the glasses as well. Glasses, they hide a lot. They're great. I'd recommend glasses even if you don't need them, because they cover a whole multitude of sins on the face. Anyway, do we know this story? Has anyone else noticed it's very quiet in their lives the past few weeks? Anyone noticed? I haven't wanted to say, but I'm noticing I think the last Tuesday that I was on, it was very quiet. And then, obviously, Tuesday just gone. And tonight, I as long as yous are joining me, I'm happy. But I'm just noticing it's very, very quiet. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't know Kelly wrote on Tuesday's story, and she watched that one. So she much doesn't be able to get to the live on the night, and she is watching them after. But yeah, and Hayley's with us tonight, which is great. So there's Hayley, Tiffany, Phil. It does say there's 4 on. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, who we're missing? Natalie. Claire comes through at the end sometimes. Courtney's not on. Obviously Warwick. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Sharon might pop in. Jerome might pop in. But yeah, it just appears to be a little bit on the quiet side lately. Oh, I know. You should, I think he might have put a comment up on my Halloween post, maybe, if you want to have a little nose. Where am I? Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. It's all gone very, very quiet. But you know, we have these, don't we? It's ebbs and flows. We do. We have these. But I'm grateful for you guys for still sticking with it. Still sticking with it twice a week. Oh, while we're discussing that, next week, because we have our live with Jerome and Sharon on Jerome's channel, it's a lot to ask you to be there 3 nights in a row. So next week we're going to do Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Just while I'm getting invited on these fabulous channels, you know. Yes, it's Mysteries with Mr. Belgique. I don't know if you've subscribed, guys, but yeah, if you could, and yeah, just join us on Wednesday at 8 p.m. instead of Thursday. And obviously it's not going to be a story. So I think, was it Jessica on the live I did with Sharon? I think she was more expecting us to talk more about a particular story, maybe. I did get that inkling when I went through the comments the next day. So obviously it's not a story, but I don't know what it's going to be entailed. I'm presuming it's hopefully going to be quite similar, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be asked, so who knows? I've taken more to listening rather than commenting when the story starts. Yeah, I understand that, Phil. I understand that. And to be honest, I am trying harder lately. I don't know if you have noticed. Perhaps you have. In trying very, very, very hard just to concentrate on the story and not get sidetracked. And I think that's why I've said at the beginning, you know, we'll have a chat at the beginning, we'll have a chat at the end, but during the story I just try to focus on the story, because I do look back at some of them sometimes and I think, if I was watching that, not you guys in the live, that's nothing to do with you, that's me. It's like, you know, if I'm not concentrating, then I'm not putting across as well as I should. So I gave myself a little bit of a talking to, so I have been trying to do that more. So I don't know if maybe that's got something to do with people not coming in at the moment. I'm not too sure, but you know, it is a true crime channel, and I love to have a chat at the beginning. I love to have a chat and a giggle at the end. But during the story, you know, I am trying to sort of keep my focus. You know, if I lose focus, that's on me. That's got nothing to do with you guys whatsoever. But that's kind of where that's coming from. But yeah, I'm here to, yeah, exactly. So yeah, my moderator extraordinaire is there to sort of intercept. Hi, Jilly, how you doing? That's okay. I haven't started yet. That's fine. Ah, Jessica, hi. And that's okay, lovely. Don't you worry. Ah, we were just saying we don't know where our peeps are, but yous are coming in, which is fabulous, and I haven't started yet, so you haven't missed anything. But yeah, I was literally just asking about what people are up to the weekends and how things are going and that sort of good stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna start in a second if you're ready. Make sure I'm not. Can you let me know if I'm too loud? Am I talking too loud or am I okay? Just give me a quick. Yes, you're good. Yes, you're okay. Because as long as I am, I'll begin. I will begin the story. Am I okay? Good. Do you know this one? Just out of curiosity, do you know this one? I was going to title it another disability hate crime story. But I wasn't too sure if it came under that category, so I haven't. Okay, so just letting you know if you're wondering why I haven't put it under that category. And yeah, let's begin. Let's go. Okay, so the unsettling, this light is going to drive me crazy, but oh, sorry, just before I start, yeah, Jessica, on that Tuesday, I did say I'd be off until the 5th of November. Safe chopping and changing. But yes, and if you have a look at Tiff's notes, I have said that I'll be, next week it'll be Tuesday and Wednesday, only because on the Wednesday, I've been invited onto another channel that I'd love you all to join us on. So, yeah, Tuesday, I'll be here at 8 with a story for you, but then the Wednesday, I'd just love you all to come over and support me. And obviously Jerome, support me, just me. There's that self-involvement again. Support Jerome and Sharon and everyone. Oh, God. It's just all about me, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to, yes, I'm going to start now. Is my mum there? I just seen Sharon with a love note. About Sharon, Sharon Young. Anyway, I'm being nosy. I'm getting sidetracked. Look at me. After what I said, and I'm all sidetracked. Okay, so if you're watching tomorrow, I am going to start now. So the unsettling Jimmy Prout story. All right. Now this story's a UK story. And who I'm actually going to start with. There are a few people involved in this one. I'm going to obviously recap the names as I'm going along, because I know that can become a bit confusing and then you start losing it with the story completely. At least I do. So I'm going to recap the names, and we're talking five people in this one. So we're going to start with Zahid Zaman. All right. So we're going to start with Zahid, all right? Zahid was born in 1974. He was actually born in Sheffield originally. Now, don't know a lot about Zahid, early life or even early teens, early 20s. I don't know a lot about his life previous to this, okay? But I do know that he was a petty criminal during his 20s. Now, it's said that Also in his 20s, he had a severe car accident, leaving him in a coma. And it said that when he did recover, obviously he recovered, but he ended up wheelchair bound. All right. Now it says that, and I've read that a lot of places, but there was somewhere I heard today that there isn't actually any proof of this said car crash and coma. This is neither here nor there to the story. Well, kind of not. But I just what I found out, so I'm just bringing that to you. So, anyway, we do know him to be in a wheelchair. We'll say that. He does have crutches that are attached to his wheelchair, but that's what we know of him. All right? Now, in the early 2000s, so he's late 20s at this time, he starts online dating, so he does. And there's actually a photo of him, and I've heard the term catfish used. I've actually heard the term catfish used for him twice while researching this. And he's actually, online dating profile is him surrounded by gold bars. So to give this the idea that he's very wealthy, okay, that's what he's putting across. He's not wealthy. Don't know where the gold bars came from, whether photoshopped, don't know, but he's not wealthy, let's just say that. All right. Now in 2005, okay, around this point he's about 31, he connects with a lady by the name of Kay Rayworth. All right. Little bit about Kay. Kay was born in 1960. Around this point, she was about 45. Now, Kay had been married. She'd actually been married twice. Had a couple of kids. Divorced from her first husband in the 90s. By the time she divorced her second husband, in the late 90s, early 2000s, okay, she started to go downhill a little bit and suffer with depression, okay. Now, for the most part, Kay was known to be very gentle. She had a caring nature. She actually worked as a carer. She sang in a church choir. This is what it was said about her. She was just a very nice lady, it was said. But like I say, after her divorce from her second husband, it shows a change in Kay, where she started to become quite run down. Like I say, she started to suffer with depression, suffer with anxiety. You know, this is what was happening when she came into contact with Zaid. All right? Okay. Now, when they met, he was obviously very charming. He looked like he was the pillar of the community. This fella who'd managed to go from being in a coma after a car crash, you know, ending up in a wheelchair, but he didn't let that stop him, and he'd help out, you know, with the homeless shelters and things like that. This is how Zoid put himself across, okay? And this is who Kay thought he was, all right? Now, it said that he offered her, well, he gave her £20,000. Now, we don't know where that money came from. I don't know, neither here nor there. But he gave her £20,000 to put towards her mortgage, all right? So Kay had a bought home, and he gave her this £20,000 to put towards a mortgage, but it sort of gave him the license then, I suppose, to wheedle his way into her home. And very quickly he moves in. All right. So not long after he moves in, the honeymoon period doesn't last very long between Kay and Zoid. And very quickly he begins controlling her. Okay. Now, Zoid is a Muslim. Kay was a Christian. A friend said that there once when they were in a cafe. Kay went to have like a bacon sandwich and he was like, well, you're not having that. The friend even spoke up at that point. She's like, but she's Christian, she's not Muslim. He was like, wow, she can't come near me after eating that kind of way. So she didn't eat it. Very soon after that, she converts to Islam. That's neither here nor there. I'm not saying he controlled her into doing that. I'm just saying this is the process of their relationship, okay? She begins to lose friends. She stops seeing her own children. And then it becomes physical then. He starts to become quite violent with Kay, all right? So it goes from the controlling nature, and I don't want you to do that, so you won't do that, and so it said that he would spit in her face, he would pin her down on the floor, and you might be like, but isn't this man in a wheelchair? Yes, he is. More about that in a bit, okay? So when people would see how he was treating her, and and when this would be discussed, he'd blame this said car accident affecting his head, and he doesn't know what he's doing, and it's not him, and he was never like that. So these are the excuses he would use. Now, like I say, out in public, he was the pillar of the community. He came across, like I say, very charming, a nice guy, very helpful to the homeless, all that kind of stuff, all right? Now, when I mentioned the wheelchair, which I have mentioned a couple of times now, the reason I say it with sort of tongue-in-cheek is because around the area where they lived, which is South Shields in Newcastle, he on occasion be seen running for a bus or jumping out of the wheelchair to get into a fight with somebody. At one point there was work being done on the garden and he was seen getting all involved in that, so it was questioned, was he against the government, scam the government? We don't know, okay, but it was said that he wasn't wheelchair bound. Let's just leave it at that, all right? So around 2009, obviously him and Kay have been together about 4 years at this point. He's got bored. He's got a bit bored. He's got her in control. He's running her house. It's no longer her home. He's running that house. He's got her exactly where he wants her. He decides, yeah, let's go. We want to start looking again. So he goes back on the dating websites again. Does Saeed. All right. Now, takes him a little while this time, but he does have that profile picture of him surrounded by the gold bars. Okay. But it does take a little while. But in around 2011, around this time, Zaid's about 37, Kay's about 51. He meets a lady by the name of Myra Wood. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about Myra. So, and then I'll do a recap of them. So, Myra, born on the 29th of October 1966, so around about this point in 2011, she's around 50. Now, Myra, due to a very rough childhood, she suffers with depression and PTSD and anxiety and stuff like that. Quite a vulnerable person. She had been married, she was now divorced, she had one daughter. The daughter does say that her mum had always been quite kind and loving. A little bit like Kay, if you remember me mentioning Kay. Started off, quite kind and caring. Meets Zaid, and a change starts to come upon these ladies. Alright? So, in 2013, he has been in contact with her for a couple of years, but in 2013, she'd actually done, about 4 months in prison for like a petty theft crime. And when she's released from prison, she comes out, she's got nowhere to go, she's homeless. Ha! Steps in Zaid, Superman, come and move in with me. It's not my home. It's not my house, but come and move in with me and my partner Kay. Let's do that. So Kay allows this. She allows Moira to come in. And it's not like he's loud and says, oh, you know, she's just a friend. No. Kay's aware that he's inviting her in because he wants a relationship with Moira too. Okay? So Zahid moves Moira into the home with himself and Kay. So far we'll just do a recap. We've got Zahid, okay? Not a nice guy, as you probably already realised. We then have Kay, okay? And then we have Moira, all right? I know it's a little bit to keep up with at the moment. All I'm doing, all this information, to be honest, I'm just bringing you everything I've found. But for them, a lot of it, to be honest, it's not really relevant to the story at hand. Okay, so if you're not keeping up with it, don't worry. You're not gonna be like sort of confused at the end. Okay, but so we started off with Zahid, then he met Kay, and now he's met Moira and he's invited her in. So living in one home is Zahid, and he's got his 2 girlfriends, Kay and Moira. All right, that's where we are. So having 2 women under the same roof, okay, he becomes even more controlling. This doesn't sort of calm him down. He becomes even more controlling and violent. All right. Now, any money that the women earn, I believe Moira was she got part-time work as a cleaner. We know that Kay was a carer. He would take their money. Their money was his money. He then got Moira to become his carer, his actual carer under the government, to be paid by the government. He takes that money too, though. He takes that. So they have no money. So these women now are completely sort of reliant on Zahid. This is where he wanted them. This is where they are. All right? So he would strangle them, he would slap them around, he'd pin them down on the floor. He was just absolutely vile to these 2 women. He would make them drink his urine. Yeah, that took a turn, didn't it? That took a bit of a turn, didn't it? So then he started to get a little bit darker, all right? Now, you see I don't know if you've heard of a thing called a kink, okay? I'm showing my age, but a kink is maybe something you're into that's not the mainstream, all right? Well, Zahid's kink, let's say, was watching animal porn. That was his kink. That's what he would enjoy. Oh, God. I'm going to let you know this story just goes downhill the whole way. All the way down. I'm just letting you know that now. Okay? So then he goes and he buys 2 dogs. He goes out and he buys himself a couple of dogs. And you might be like, oh. He buys the dogs because he wants Kay and Moira to partake in an intimate activity with said dogs, which they both say no to, all right? They both say no to, but this is what he bought the dogs for, all right? Now, okay, we're coming up to 2014, and I'm going to come up to the last 2 names, all right? So like I say, there are 5 people involved in this story, so I'm coming up to the last 2 people now, all right? The first one, like I say, this is 2014. The first one is a girl called Anne Corbett, all right? She's a lot younger than the other 2 women, okay? She was born on the 8th of November 1990, so around this point she's about 24. Now, Anne suffers with a learning disability, would find herself regularly homeless. Okay, I don't know why, but that's where we are with Anne. Okay, so Zaid, yeah, ever want to home in on someone at their lowest ebb? Remember what I mentioned about Kay and Moira, both suffering with depression, both suffering with anxiety. Moira suffering with PTSD from a rough childhood. Okay, so now we've got Anne, who actually has learning difficulties, and he's like, come on, come and live with us. Come on, we'll look after you. Okay, but then, so of course, obviously he's pretending to be the nice guy. Then there's another man. Okay, so at the moment, Zaid's like, he's like got a harem, hasn't he? He's got like a harem. Is it a harem or a harem? So he's got these 3 women around him. But then we meet a man by the name of Jimmy Prout. All right? Now let me tell you a little something about Jimmy. Jimmy was born in 1971, also has mild learning difficulties. All right? Now, Jimmy was one of 8 siblings. I think he was the second from the youngest. All right. Born and raised in Newcastle. Now, his dad worked away a lot. His mum suffered with depression. So, quite a few of the siblings ended up in care. And Jimmy was one of them. All right. So, not a great start to life with Jimmy. Now, as he grew up, he was doing okay. He didn't do, obviously, very well at school. I've seen somewhere that he couldn't read. But he was very good with his hands. And he went on to meet a woman by the name of Mandy Carter, and they get married. They have a couple of kids together. It said he's a very kind, good-natured guy. But unfortunately, their relationship doesn't last. Okay, they do end up going on to get divorced. And this is around the time things start to go wrong for Jimmy. He just can't get over it, I suppose. And, you know, he starts not being able to get work, stay in work. So then he starts becoming engaged in petty crime. Nothing serious, but, you know, he was struggling. So that's kind of where Jimmy was when he comes across Anne and Zaid. And obviously he's just moved in with Zaid. Alright? Zaid again pretending to be Mr. Nice Guy. Now you might be like, okay, now there's 5 of them. Where are they all living? Alright? So Zaid also realising, well, it's a bit packed in this house. He forces Kay to go down and get another house. Now I'm presuming it's a rental. We know hers is bought, but I'm presuming the other house is a rental. And it's a few doors down. On the same street, few doors down. Okay, same side. Alright, now, so, there's no more names I'm going to bring to you. But we have Zaid and Kay living in Kay's house. Alright, they're still living there. And then in the second property that he made them get, and Moira Moira, I'll do them in order. Moira, Anne and Jimmy are all living in that second property. All right. Like I say, there is CCTV footage of the things I'm going to talk to you about, some of the things I'm going to talk to you about, and you can kind of make out where the houses are split, because the CCTV. God, put your teeth back in. The CCTV footage that you can see is from the house where, well, Kay's house where Zaid and her are living. It's footage from that house, and it points down the road, and you can actually see when Moira, Anne and Jimmy are walking down the road and where they're coming from. So it's literally just a few doors up. It looks quite a small road. Okay. Okay. So that's where we are now. That's all the characters within the story I'm talking about. It's all the people. There we go. Now, Jimmy, he began as being called sort of a handyman for both homes. under Zaid's instruction, okay? That's how it started. It was sort of in lieu of rent, you know, he'd fix things and he'd do things for Zaid, and then he started doing sort of tasks for him. He'd go to the shops for him, you know, he'd do what Zaid wanted him to do. This escalates quite quickly until he starts becoming a cleaner for both homes and just a general dog's body, but not just for Zaid, for the other 3 women as well. The 2 he was in a house with and Kay at the other house. He then starts becoming a dog's body for all 4 of them. All right. They don't tend to have a lot of respect for Jimmy. Like I say, Jimmy was quite kind. He was sweet-natured guy. He also had learning difficulties. He was very easy to trust. He also was homeless at the time, so he probably thought, well, this is better than living on the street. So he kind of goes along with this poor treatment of him. Okay. Now, when they were out in public, there was an order they had to walk in. Just this group, if you saw them coming towards you, I don't know what you'd think. But when they would be out in public, Zaid would go first in his wheelchair, flanked either side by Kay and Moira. Coming up the back would be Anne, and then trailing right at the back would be Jimmy. And this was said that this was to point the hierarchy of where they saw each other within their little group. And Jimmy was seen bottom of the barrel. Alright? So he was just seen as completely inferior. It's just terrible. Okay, so 2014, there's a picture of Zaid with the mayor of Gateshead. It's online. You can see him there in his wheelchair, and you've got the mayor there, or mayor. I never pronounce it right. And it's when he'd gone to sort of this dinner for the charity that ran the homeless centre, and you know, the where you could go to eat, and you know, he'd made himself part of that community. So he's in a photo with them trying to look very proud in his wheelchair, by the way. So now we're coming up to 2015, okay, around autumn, and Anne's brother Ivan. Now, honestly, this person doesn't stay within this story for too long, so don't worry, I'm not throwing another name at you. But Anne's brother Ivan comes to visit. He just comes to visit, and Zaid was thinking, oh, I've got another one I can manipulate. Ivan wasn't going to be manipulated by Zaid at all. Plus, he said he was big enough that he could defend himself quite easily against Zaid. And when Zaid hasn't got the 3 women to beat on, you know, or a very timid man who would never agree with fighting back in Jimmy, when he's got an actual sort of masculine character that's not going to put up with that, he doesn't like it. Doesn't like that at all when he realises he's not going to get his own way with Ivan. So he causes like a bit of an argument with Ivan, and when Ivan leaves, which he does, obviously he's like, sod this lot, I'm out of here. It's some tools go missing. So it's apparently they weren't expensive. What was he doing with tools? It doesn't strike me as really using them. But anyway, these tools go missing. And Zaid, even though he believes it's Ivan that's took them, he decides to blame it on Jimmy. Jimmy had nothing to do with it. He wasn't part of it. He didn't even know about it. But he decides to think, right, you're going to get it for my tools going missing. Okay? In fact, they all turn on Jimmy from this point onwards. All of them. Okay? The second house that Jimmy, if you remember, Moira, Anne and Jimmy are living in, is all boarded up to basically make this a prison, if you like, for Jimmy. He's not getting away from them, put it that way. Okay? Basically, to keep him a prisoner while he's beaten daily. Daily. Alright? Just punched, kicked, strangled, just treated horrifically, this man was. Alright? Now, Jimmy around this Jimmy would around this time would put pictures on Facebook. He had a Facebook account, Jimmy did. And oh my God, I'm curious to know, did he have any friends on Facebook? Because the photos this man puts up of himself, you've never seen anything like it. There's one of him stood sort of to the side of the, like facing side on to the camera. And the entire top of his shoulder all the way down his arm, his left arm, and then it's going round onto his back. It's not bruises that I can even call, it's not what I can call bruises. It's just black. It's like thick, deep tissue bruising to the entire side of this man's body. And then when he faces front on to the camera, he looks really, he looks like he was a slim man anyway, but he's obviously got no shirt on, and this man he looks so skinny. And basically, as they do in these stories, they'd started to starve this man. He didn't need to eat apparently anymore. So they were starving him now. And you can see in the photo. There's another photo where he just looks, he's just got two black eyes in this photo. And the post just basically say, my shoulder hurts, my head hurts. You know, these are sort of the captions he's putting up. And that's what I'm saying. Did he have any friends on Facebook? Well, I can tell you he had one. He did have one friend on Facebook. Anne was his friend on Facebook. Remember Anne, that's living with him? And you know what she used to do? She used to like his posts. Now, I know, you might say, I know Anne had learning difficulties herself. But she'd see this man beaten black and blue, knowing he had learning difficulties too. And she would like the pictures he was putting up. Just crazy. They would all laugh while he was getting punched, he was getting kicked, he was getting slashed with knives. He would be suffocated. He would be suffocated right up until the point he'd be about to pass out, and then they'd stop. And like I say, he was being starved as well. So you might think, well, why is he not even trying to defend himself? He wouldn't have had the energy. He wouldn't have been able to, even if he wanted to. Okay. He was also part of his punishments. I don't know what these punishments are for by this point now. Are we still doing it for the tools that you know he didn't take? But he'd been made to stand for hours and hours. Now you would imagine, you know, you haven't eaten, you've been beaten, you've been made to stand. Just the lightheadedness and the need to collapse must have been crazy. Just awful. Okay, now I'm gonna go into now you might think, oh, you know, these are the things he was going through and it was horrific, and you're right, it was horrific. But remember, I says this just keeps getting worse. So I'm going to warn you now, this got really, really bad. Okay. So then Zoid came up with an idea. He was going to pull his teeth out. Not for any reason. Not for any reason. He just wanted to. So they pinned him down while Zoid started pulling out his teeth with pliers. And it was said that when there was a stubborn tooth that didn't want to come out with pliers, he would then go and get his hammer and chisel to get that tooth out. And the Facebook pictures still keep going up. And you see early photos of Jimmy, and he's quite an attractive man. These photos, oh God, and you can see where teeth have been pulled out. He's only got a couple left in his mouth in these photos. And to be honest, the photo, it's such a shame because it's right up of his face. If you don't know the story, it could look like he's even smiling. And he's not. What he's doing, I think he's took the photo and done that so you can see the teeth that have been taken from his mouth. He's also, do you remember I says about Zoid's kink? Do we all remember Zoid's kink? Put your hands up in the back if you remember what it was. Wow. He was forced to have sex with Zoid's dogs. And the women would... This wasn't done just him and Zoid. The women were all there and they'd laugh. Not only what was going on with this man, the abuse of these dogs. I mean, what? Okay. And then, okay. Oh, God. Right. Then, all I can think about this guy, he was just a sadist, this Zoid. He then decides he wants to cut out Jimmy's his testicle. Yeah, that's what I said. So he wants Anne to do it. So with a Stanley blade, Stanley knife, if you're watching in America, it's a box cutter. He wants her to cut open Jimmy's scrotum. Alright? And apparently she makes an incision, but she can't go through with it. So Zoid takes over. He makes the incision into Jimmy's scrotum. He removes his testicle. And then he makes Jimmy eat it. And he forces him to swallow his own testicle. Then they burn the wound to basically heal it, if you like, and sew it up. Oh my God. Just, there's no words. There's no words. And not only did no one help him, they all just laughed. They were all around while this was happening, laughing, thinking it was really funny. Can you even... You can't even imagine the pain he was in. I don't even know why I'm asking that. There's no way to imagine the pain this poor man was in at this point. There's no words. And in fact, not only were they laughing at the time, in a later beating, they started kicking him in the groin. I mean, oh my God. We get to the 27th of November 2015. Obviously, it's a few weeks after this has happened. But Jimmy's in agony. He's in absolute agony. And he goes to the hospital. Okay? So he's in the hospital now. I've told you the injuries to this guy. I've just told you what was done to him. Now, he won't say who's done it to him. He says he knows who it was, but he doesn't want to say who it was. He does do that. And there's notes put on, you know, his records and stuff to say he's in a bad way. This guy's obviously been assaulted and everything else. But they just give him a sick note, which I'm thinking, obviously it's not for work, so I'm assuming it's in relation to benefits in some way. So, and I'm assuming Zoid has sent him there. And all the hospital do is the sort of like a no further action put on his note, and he's given his sick note and sent on his way. 3 days later, on the 30th of November 2015, he's back at the hospital. This time, Zoid and Anne have joined him. Okay? And Zoid speaks for him and basically says, yeah, he got you know, he was assaulted, he got really badly beaten up. We're here helping him. We're here to look after him, but he needs a sick note for a bit longer because that wasn't long enough what you gave him. And the hospital even wrote down, you know, how quiet Jimmy was, how he wasn't speaking for himself. He looked quite scared. And they just give him a longer sick note and send him on his way. Okay. This point, Jimmy's health, as you would imagine, is really, really deteriorating. I don't know how he's still going along. I really don't. He could only actually walk at this point now with help. I say help with my fingers. My fingers are in the air. My air quotes are up. Because the help would normally come from Kate and Moira, and it would come in the way of dragging him up the road. Again, remember I mentioned the CCTV footage where you could see where the houses were on the street and how far they were from each other. That's where this was caught. And you can just see there's a footage of him being pushed. There's footage of him being dragged. Just utter disdain treated for this man. I don't even know if they saw him as a man anymore. I don't know what they saw of him anymore. And it's so sad. He looks about 20, 30 years older than he was, you know, in the earlier photos. Not a mass amount of time's gone by, but it looks like it's been years. His hair's grown, his beard's all grown. He looks, at one point, it looks like he's looking at the camera, and he looks like, I have no words. I've got no words. I really haven't. And yeah, that was the help he was given. That was the help he was given by these women. So, all in, there was another point in time in January of 2016 where Jimmy was seen by a neighbour on the floor, no coat on. It's January. We know it's going to be cold. He was on the floor. And he actually said to the neighbour, help me. And they didn't. In fact, there were 17 documented opportunities to help Jimmy. With regards to the authorities, witnesses, neighbours, there were 17 chances to help him. And no one did. Nobody helped him. So we get to the 9th of February 2016. It's the early hours of the morning. And Jimmy, being in absolute agony, has been screaming for hours during that night. Okay. So Moira, not knowing what to do, calls Zoid. And Zoid and Anne, Zoid and Kay come down, sorry. And the four of them stand round Jimmy, who's screaming in agony at this point. And they all stand round, and Zoid says to Anne, you're going to have to shut him up. You're going to have to shut him up. You've got to keep him quiet. Just gag him. So Anne, the youngest of all of them, the one that has also got learning difficulties, let's remember. I'm not excusing any behaviours, but let's remember who Anne is, alright? She is the one told to gag him. And what she does, she actually wraps clothing around his mouth and nose. Well, we know what's going to happen in that situation, don't we? We get to 6 a.m. and Jimmy lying on the floor, battered, bruised and broken, has suffocated, and he's died. Oh God, this poor man. When realising that he was dead, the four of them stand around for a bit like, what should we do? What should we do about this? They decide to wrap him in layers of clothing and put him in a sleeping bag. And then they transport him. I'm not too sure how. I've heard in the wheelchair, I've heard in pushchair, I've heard in many different ways. But they transport him to like a barren area about 300 feet from the home. Okay, it's slightly covered with bushes. And they just throw him there. They come back. They get rid of all his stuff. They burn all his belongings that he had left. And they just go to move on with their lives. No one's going to miss him. Who cares? You know, who cares? But they all start feeling paranoid. Don't they always? Okay. 25th of March 2016. Alright. So Ed and Anne get into a bit of a fight. It doesn't say what it was over, we don't know, but it's a physical fight, okay? To the point where Zoid calls the police on her. Okay, you'd be like, it'd be the last people you'd phone, wouldn't you? Well, no, Zoid's got a plan. Him, Kay and Moira have come up with a plan, funny enough. And when the police come, he tells them that not only did Anne attack him, she's murdered somebody. She murdered a man that was living here. The three of them came up with a plan that Anne was going to take the fall for them. Okay? So they're all brought in for questioning. Zoid, Kay and Moira all, obviously, as discussed, point the fingers firmly at Anne. And Anne's like, no, but I can tell you where he is. I can take you there. So Anne tells them everything that happened. She does explain that it was her that covered his mouth and gagged him, but it was an accident. She hadn't meant for that to happen. Oh, okay. Oh, that time was an accident, was it, Anne? But she shows them where he is, and on the 27th of March 2016, they find Jimmy. Okay? Now, it has been about 6 weeks. Alright, so you would imagine he's been left to the elements. Animals around the area have been involved with Jimmy's body. But pathologists, even given this, are still able to see the broken bones and the damage done to this man's body. They can tell when the broken bones were, when it was done. They can see a lot still, and they can see the abuse that was done to him. Alright? So on the 3rd of May 2017 is the trial. Now, they'd all pled not guilty to murder. They'd all pled not guilty. So they're all obviously pointing fingers. But within all of that, not one of them showed a little iota of remorse. Not one of them. None of them. Didn't even feel bad. Just wanted to use their time blaming each other. Zoid is found guilty of murder, and he was given a minimum of 33 years. Now, given the fact that this is, don't forget, this is England, you know, I was not pleased is never the right word, but I was surprised. I will say surprised, okay? Anne also found guilty of murder, but don't forget she did own up. She told the police where Jimmy was. So she was given 27 years minimum, okay? That's the minimum they serve. So they will not even get looked at for parole until they have done those years. You know, they've, oh my God, they've completed that sentence, okay? Kay and Moira were both found guilty of allowing the death or being involved in the death of a vulnerable adult. Kay was given 12 years and 4 months, and Moira was given 9 years. I just don't agree. I mean, this Moira, for goodness sake, that was 2017. You know, she's going to be out soon. You know, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that such a short amount of time. So although I was surprised at the Saeed and Anne sentencing, the other two, who were just as involved, they were there. They watched it, they laughed, they could have helped. They pushed him up the road, they forced him into the house. They were 100% involved in every part of it, from what I found out. And then for one of them only to get 9 years, I just thought, oh my God. After the trial, once the guilty verdict had been passed down, a family member did shout out, you know, I hope you all rot in hell. And I think we can all say, yeah, I do. I agree. I hope they do all rot in bloody hell. All of them. This was an awful story to come across. It really, really was. This poor man. And like I say, although I haven't put it as in the category of other stories I've done where I always title it disability mate crime, the reason I haven't done that is because none of these even pretended to be his friends. They didn't even do that. I don't think any of them even pretended to say a nice word to him. I don't even think there was that in this case. So that's why I haven't titled it as such. It's just such a sad and upsetting story of a man who, it was said he was just a really nice guy. He was just a really, really nice guy. Now, I have mentioned photos that are online and the CCTV footage that's online and the stills of it that are online. You know, if you have a look, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Just the deterioration of this man who's just, it's heartbreaking. It genuinely is. It genuinely is to think. Look, and just the fact that all of these people, the reason I gave you there, like a brief history of all of them, was just to show that I don't think any of them, not Zoid, sorry, God, what am I saying? I don't think any of the women, had they not come into contact with Zoid, would have believed that they'd have been capable of such sadistic, sickening torture. But they can't be excused either. There's no excuse. None. Oh, well, this man made me do it. No. No, not at all. He didn't make you do anything. You had free will to leave that house. It was, my God, it was Kay's own home. It was hers. I know he got his foot in the door and then he became controlling. I'm not being flippant on that. I mean, I don't know. Did she think, wow, you know, it's saving me getting a hiding? Is that what they all thought? I don't know what any of them were thinking, to be honest. I really don't. But yeah, that was the unsettling Jimmy Prout story. Okay. Ugh. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you so much. Like I say, I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. if you'd like to join me. If you've got any requests, you can drop them into the Patreon at patreon.com/JessRose5472, or come and join us on the live, like I say, every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 o'clock. I think I said that. Thank you, like I say, thank you so much again. I've completely botched up that outro, haven't I? Just awful. It's just such an awful case. But yeah, I'm just going to have a quick chat with the guys in the live. But next week, like I say, I'm only here. Well, I'm here, but I'm here on Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. instead. And that's because I'm actually on another live. And it's, if you'd like to join, it's Mysteries with Mr. Belgique's channel. And he's going to be asking me some questions with Sharon Young from We Are Their Voices channel. So, yeah, if you'd like to join us on Wednesday, that'd be amazing. But I am here on Tuesday at 8 p.m. with another story for you. And then the following week, I'm back to Tuesday and Thursday as normal. So, yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to have a quick chat with the guys in the live now. How are we all? How are we all over after that? Oh, God. It's just so sad. Such a sad, really hard. I'm just coming across such sad stories lately, just so graphic as well. But if I don't say the whole story, then I'm not doing justice to what actually happened. And, you know, I know we have to listen to it, but, you know, they go through it and it just went through it and, oh, God, ugh, just awful. How are we all? How are we? It's just so sad. I've got myself all hot and bothered again now. All hot and bothered. Who joined us? I did notice a couple of people had joined us. I seen Jessica, didn't know. Is Jilly still here? I did see, I'd said hello to, Jessica, I did say hello to you, didn't I? I did say hello to you at the beginning, didn't I? I'm sure I did. Is Phil okay? Is everyone okay in there? I hope you are. I heard someone say, reminded you of Victoria Climbier as well. I understand what you mean with the amount of people that were aware and that were in contact with him, especially the hospital as well. It's like, oh my God. I did. Okay, that's good. This is good. I'm glad I did. Oh. I know, Jessica, honestly, I understand. I know this would have hit Phil as well as yourself. I think Hayley, me, myself, I think Tiffany, well, I think we've all got connections where we can just sort of, it just touches your heart, doesn't it? It does. That's what I'm saying, Phil. Yeah, it just touches your heart, doesn't it? It's like, because you know someone, or like yourself, Jessica and Phil, you know, you obviously have got autism, and you know, and it's just so sad when there's not that support system around that can, I don't know, because Gemma Hayter she did have a support system. She just thought they were her friends. There's just so many cases that I've seen where the families have done everything they possibly can, and oh God, just awful. But oh God, so I don't know. I don't know what to say now. I don't know what to say. I've just devastated you all now, haven't I? That's set you up for the weekend, well, hasn't it? But yeah, hope you're all okay. But did we find out what everyone's doing at the weekend anyway? just a quick switch over. Yes, Jessica, that's what I mean. He didn't seem he did. There was no one to look out for him, was there? That's what makes it so sad. It really does. Oh, thank you, sis. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a hard one. But are you all going to join on Wednesday? You all have to come on Tuesday, of course, but are you all going to join on Wednesday? Are you all going to pop in? It'd be great if you do. Obviously, I need my moderator extraordinaire. You have to be there. Hayley has to be there. So you can't even say no, unfortunately. Sorry about that. But you have to be there. See, of course, there we go. See, you have no choice. But Jessica, are you going to join? And Phil, are you going to join? I hope you are. I need some of my Jess Rose crew to be there too. Because I don't know Jerome's group. Does anyone, is it, where was Sex and the Mum of his kids? She does talk about him, but I think he'd just gone off the tracks. He'd gone downhill, hadn't he? He had gone downhill. I haven't spoke much about it because I mentioned her name, but I didn't want to mention too much about it because you just don't know. You don't know. You don't want to say too much, basically, involving people. She might be too much. I don't, so I obviously mentioned her name, no kids, and yeah, it was just, I think he just went downhill, didn't he, after they broke up. You can't be washing your hair. You can't be washing your hair as well. Did you say thinking about it, Jessica? Is that what you said? No, you can't think about it. You have to be here. You have to be here on Wednesday and Tuesday. You have to be here at all times, Jessica. You're part of Jess Rose crew now. And once you're part of it, I hunt you down. I do hunt you down. If no one's there on my lives, I do message you. That's what I do. And no, Tiffany, you can't be washing your... What are you doing? I'm done. I'm kind of glad you weren't here for tonight's one, to be honest. I don't know what you'd have said. Hi, Jerome. Oh, yes, I just said about Courtney. I'm literally all done. I'm all done. You'll have to watch it all over again now. But I've been letting them all know, Jerome, about our live on Wednesday and been insisting that they have to come. They have no excuse. They have to be there on Wednesday. So I've been throwing my weight around. In the nicest possible way. But watch the story and you'll realise why. You'll realise probably about halfway through why I said that. Very sad story, but yeah, you're going to see what I mean. But are you going to join? You weren't there on my last live with Sharon. So you're going to be there with my live with Jerome and Sharon on Wednesday. Because you're invited, you know. You have to. Just to see us natter. Just to see us have a chat for an hour and a half. What more could you be doing on a Wednesday night? What more could you be doing? Okay, all right then. Okay. Well, I have said earlier, I'm here on Tuesday at 8 o'clock again next week. But we're going to do Wednesday at 8 o'clock instead. So I won't be doing Thursdays. Because I just thought... No, Phil, you can't think about it. You're not allowed to think about it. You just have to be there. Oh, God, that was... slapping the legs and everything. It's very aggressive. It's all very aggressive. But yeah, I just thought 3 nights. We'd done it before where it's the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 o'clock. I thought it was a lot for everyone to, you know, to join in all 3 nights. So I thought this time, if we do Tuesdays live at 8 o'clock and then we'll do Wednesdays live with Jerome and Sharon at 8 o'clock and then I won't do Thursday. So we'll just do the 2 again next week. And then I'll just start again with the Tuesday and Thursday the following week. Do you know what? If you aren't confused, I don't know how, because I've just confused myself. I'm making it sound so much more confusing than it needs to be. It's just, next week it's Tuesday and Wednesday, and the week after it's back to Tuesday and Thursday. There we go. My God, I made a meal of that, didn't I? My God. So yeah, but I'm holding you all to it. And plus, I'll see you all on Tuesday before Wednesday's live. So I'll be pummeling you all then as well. So you can't get away from me. You just can't. Yes, Tuesday at 8 o'clock. You forgot the 8 p.m. Yes, 8 p.m. Oh my God, I know. It made sense in my head, and then as I was talking, it wasn't coming out. Fresh and assorted doesn't help us. I know, I do know that, Phil. I do know. It doesn't go down well, does it? I do understand that. I'll be there Monday and Friday. Just knock it off, Courtney. You can't put that in the comments. Someone will see that. Let's just say next week will only be Tuesday 12th, Wednesday 13th, 8 p.m. There we go. There we go. Ignore the one, sister. Only listen to the other one. Ignore the other one. We don't sit still for long. I know. I get it. I do get it, Jessica. I do. And Phil, I understand. But do you know what it is? It's not, there's no pressure. There's actually no pressure. Just a little bit. Just teeny little bit. Just teeny little bit where I'll hunt you down. But don't let that affect you at all. Flying about. I know. I'm all over the shop. I know. Mum goes mad at me. She's like, well, you just sit still. I'm like, it's really hard. It's really hard. It's a long time. It's such a long time to try and sit and focus. But, yeah, there is. Be there. Oh, Tiffany's laying the pressure on now. Where did Hayley go as well? Hayley was here at the beginning. Where did she go? Where did she go? Yeah, just a teeny little bit, Jessica. Just a teeny little bit of pressure. Where did she go? But even though you've come through late, Jerome and Courtney, I've got to go. No, we haven't. We haven't, Court. I don't know what's going on, but we haven't. But, I don't know. Maybe he'll join next week. Maybe he's away this week or something. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. But, yeah. Maybe next week. Maybe next week. We shall see. But he might... There's no point coming on the Thursday because I'm not going to be here. He's probably hoovering, washing, polishing. Who? Me? Is it me? Hayley, why are you thinking me when I'm in front of the camera? Oh, for God's sake, Jessica. You want about Hayley? Why is she doing that? Why is she doing all that, though? At this time of night? Why is it? Oh, she's still there. We were talking about you. No, I'm not. Got a bit confused then. I did. I wasn't good. I wasn't. I got a little bit confused there. I don't know what was going on. I forgot to ask the question. I looked back at comments the other week as well, and I think you'd asked me. I think Courtney had asked me a question. Was it Courtney or... It was either Courtney or Tiffany had asked me a question. No, I asked the question. I carried on talking. You answered the question. And I didn't know who you were talking to. I've got to stop doing that. I have to stop doing that. Right, okay. Oh, okay. Right. All right, then. Being into... Don't be confused. Don't be confused. I'm confusing myself. It's me. It's me. It's me. Everyone else is confused too. It's me. I do it all the time. Yes. 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 Phil can understand, Jessica. He certainly can. He understand. He gets you. He gets you. Right. Okay. On that note, on my confusion of confusing everyone. Should I just say that again? Should I just say confused again? Should I just do it again? I'm going. That's what I'm going to do because I think it's jingle time. That was a build. That was a build-up, wasn't it? No one gets you. Oh, look at that. Do you see what that is, Courtney? Can you see my fingers? Can you see what that is? Can you make out what it is? Do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you what it is? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm being a meanie. I'm all hyped up. I'm very hyped up. But it's jingle time. It is the time of the jingle. Are we ready? So if you're watching now, I had to think about it then. If you're watching now, once the video's uploaded, just like Phil does, Warwick used to, I don't know where he is. Oh no, don't be tight. What's the matter? I get you. I get you. And I'll get you even more on Wednesday. I get you. I get you, see. I get you. Yes, as Phil does, Warwick used to. And you don't do it anyway, so you need to listen to this as well. Tiffany does it. If you could pop a comment in to the start, Jess does it. I didn't read my... Oh, okay. What did you put? What did you put? Because she's stuff up, don't you, Hayley? Courtney, don't know. I didn't hear from him in the chat today. What did I miss of you, Tiffany? You are a confusing piece of art, aren't you, sis? Oh, is that art? Nasty piece of work, isn't it? Oh, God, for God's... Do you know, I missed them all. I'm walking out. Let me finish my outro. My God. Let me get it out. Okay. So, everyone watching now, if you could, in the leading great example like Phil, and Jessica does as well, and Tiffany does sometimes, and Warwick used to, if you could go on and just drop me a comment onto this video once it's uploaded, I'd really appreciate it. If you could put a like on there once it's uploaded, I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, if you want to join my Patreon, it's patreon.com/DeshRose5472. Don't know. But if you like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Look, comment and subscribe. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. Look, comment and subscribe to me. Look, comment and subscribe, guys, to me. I'm knocking everything out of the way. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, like I say, thank you to... No, like I say, I'm here on Tuesday at 8 p.m. And thank you to... Oh, God. Phil and Jessica and Tiffany and Hayley, my moderators extraordinaires, and Courtney, and it was very awfully angry, it was terrible. I did see Jilly, but God, is that it? Have I got everyone? I think I just did it. I said Courtney, didn't I? Phil, Jessica, Tiffany, Hayley, Courtney, Jilly. I did. I'm done. Yes. My God, I was getting so confused then. But thank you all so much for joining me again. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. And yes, I'll see you Tuesday at 8. Take no notice of Courtney. It's Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I'm back here. So I'll expect you all here. No pressure to anyone. But yeah, there is pressure. So... I know, it doesn't. So I will see you all next week, and have a fantastic weekend, guys. Bye. Look, comment, subscribe. Stop it, Courtney. Look, comment, subscribe, guys. Wednesday, 8 p.m. No, Tuesday, 8 p.m. and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Look, comment, subscribe, guys.